Well, today is World Mental Health Day, designated by the World Health Organization. The goal of marking this day is to raise awareness about mental illness and mental health issues overall.
Yeah, so joining us today is Dr. Stephanie Mackey, who is board certified in family medicine, and she's the mama of 5 teenagers. She has penned a book entitled Empowered, a parent's survival guide to navigating the mental health care system. First of all, it's so good to have you here. The title of the book includes the term survival guide. I know that's important because parents are often woefully unprepared for getting help when children are facing these mental challenges. As we were talking, I mean, this can happen at so many different ages right now. It's a different world.
It is a very different world that's out there. And thanks for just giving me the opportunity to bring awareness to this topic.
Absolutely.
1 in 8 individuals, according to the World Health Organization, suffers from mental illness. And that's just what's being reported. That's not the numbers of those who are at home who don't speak up.
And how many people suffer in silence because of it too?
And your book is really sort of a guidebook, a tutorial on getting help if you need it, because it really can be a quagmire when you've got a problem, right?
Right. So I had patients that have trouble navigating the mental health system. They don't know where to start, and oftentimes you have to self-refer because they want that buy-in, that you're willing to make the first step. I also, with my children, it was trouble trying to just find who to go to and where to go to. So I put kind of a how-to guide together called Empowered, and how to navigate that system. And so I had help from social workers and clinical pharmacists so that we could tackle not just who's who in behavioral health, but also what are the medications, what are the side effects, what does the diagnosis mean, kind of even worksheets on just how to keep track of your child's medications and caregivers as you're going through that system.
Well, that might be tricky, I think, as any parent to navigate. You talk about teenagers, and I mentioned my daughter's still at 9, and I see the differences, the changes from when I was a kid versus what I deal with now, what they have to deal with now, and perhaps maybe a big part of this is social media. What do you see now in that, with the pandemic? What leads to a lot of this in today's culture?
Well, with the pandemic, it definitely put mental health on the spotlight because we were already struggling for resources. We were already struggling to get individuals seen in behavioral health for counseling. And with the pandemic, more children were isolated, more adults had economic concerns. And so getting into behavioral health became even more important to be able to set an example for your children, but also get your children the help that they needed. And so as far as social media, it does play a big part in there, and just, kids' self-esteem and how their friends see them and what gets portrayed, and the positives always seem to be posted, right? But we don't always see the negatives of what the other individuals are suffering.
And then, George,
well.
I think as parents, we don't always know what to do.
Well, a lot of the time.
It's just where do we begin?
And I wonder, in family practice, you are often the first resource somebody reaches out to. What is that first step that you tell your patients if they're having a difficult time with a child?
Right, so I do have a lot of patients that will reach out and say, my kid's suffering, they're just staying in their rooms all the time. And sometimes it's just giving them those skills of how to emotionally regulate. As far as the schools, we teach math, we teach science, we teach English, but we don't do a great job of teaching, emotional regulation skills and how to just look at a situation and talk your way through that. So that was another thing that I did focus on when I was going through this, was what kinds of skills can you teach your child? What kinds of things can you start with at home? And oftentimes just getting counseling and having them learn those, how to be mindful and self-aware is all that's needed.
Just kind of what to do. There are a few quotes from the book, if we can toss those up really quick. You say, empowered, spirituality can help you deal with stress by giving you a sense of purpose and a feeling of peace. That's something that I feel like so many of us could relate to, for sure. And then empowered, a healthy diet supports mental well-being. What we eat affects our energy levels and affects our mood. So there you go. Things I think we can all learn from. Adults and then teenagers alike.
It looks like a good template, a guidebook to get us started.
All right, Doctor, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Your knowledge as well. We appreciate it.